Good morning. I will call the special selectmen's meeting to order, October 28th, 2025. All three selectmen are present, and we will begin with citizen comments. Any citizen comments? Yes, Ms. Valerie Clark.
Good morning, Valerie Clark, Elm Road. This is I think the first I've heard of the burn ordinance, and I don't know where to find a copy of what's being proposed, but I personally think that our current burn regulations are too restrictive. We actually need what I believe is an agricultural ordinance as well. Or Town of Ashford seems to have given permission in their town for agricultural burn, but currently I'm in a situation where I have a small pile that I need to burn, but I can't apply for a permit for it because the restrictions from the state of Connecticut that the town has are that I have to reside on the parcel and it has to be near a water hydrant source like a well. And so I'm unable to do a small brush burn that I need to do because of those restrictions, because I own parcels that I don't live on, I live next to, and I'm not able to apply for that permit. I've researched it a number of years ago, 2 or 3, and what I found was that the only thing it seemed to fall under was an agricultural burn that would permit me to do that. But I believe the town has to specifically permit that. So that's my comment for right now. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Valerie. There will be, if the Board of Selectmen opt to move forward with the open burning ordinance, there will be a copy available and published. In the meantime, any other questions? I don't know if you've ever reached out to the Fire Marshal, Jamie Sinay, who's in the Zoom meeting right now, but maybe he can assist you with the plans for a burn.
Thank you.
Any other citizen comments? Okay, seeing no more citizen comments, we will move on to the order of business, which is the proposed legal notice of special town meeting for December 4th, 2025. I'll make a motion that we, for discussion purposes, approve the legal notice for a special town meeting December 4th, 2025, in order to conduct the business of adopting proposed ordinance to establish the Thompson Fire Protection Association District and to adopt the proposed open burn ordinance. I make that motion.
I'll second that.
All right, now it's open for discussion. In regard to the ordinance to establish the Thompson Fire Protection Association District, that is associated with a petition that was submitted and validated by the town clerk. But why don't we start with that topic? Is there any discussion from the selectmen on that proposed ordinance?
This is something that I think we're all familiar with. I think, this has been the topic of some of our discussions for the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm fine with moving it forward. I'm glad that the firemen have presented the position, have the petition, and that we are ready to go to town meeting.
Yep. Ken, do you
No,
have anything?
I'm for bringing it to the townspeople for the fire tax in order to properly fund them, and as we know, the challenges that have been over the last few decades. I think it's a good thing, and let the people speak whether or not they want to go in that direction or not.
Right, absolutely. And as we can remember, in June of 2023, a good portion of the fire department membership had come to a Board of Selectmen meeting, and we had, based on the contributing conversation that occurred at that meeting, we decided as a Board of Selectmen to move forward with investigating. Bylaws have been created. An ordinance is now created, and yeah, we'll move it to town meeting and see if this is something that people wish to move forward with. Item B, the proposed open burn ordinance. I did ask the fire marshal to come in to answer any questions that the board
Amy.
might have. I will say that this really we started talking about, Jamie and I started talking about this after last season, during the severe drought, when there were issues with fires during a time when there was not supposed to be fires. But at this point, I'm happy to let, if you both agree, happy to let Jamie speak on the topic.
Sure, let him go ahead.
All right.
Good morning. Sorry, it's a little loud in here. They have 8 radios in emergency management over here. So we created this ordinance based on last year because of the drought. We had all those wildfires, and a lot of towns were prohibiting open fires such as campfires and such, just because the fire danger was so extreme for a long period of time with no rain. So the only way for towns to do that is either through ordinance or through the selectmen would have to declare a state of emergency to prohibit burning. So this ordinance, essentially, all it is the state regulations. So all burning that we do, we don't have any of our own regulations. Everything is based on state DEP regulations. So this ordinance is directly off of the state website and the permits that we have. All permits, just to answer questions, we do have regular residential permit, but we do provide agricultural permits for people that have farmlands and stuff, and we've issued those before. So if you have open farmland, there is agricultural permits that we do issue to people that are clearing land and stuff like that. People can't use it to clear lot to build a house, but for agricultural, we do have permits that we issue for those situations. So really the big thing that's added to this from the state statute is allowing us to cease any burning during extreme fire weather conditions. So if we have a situation like last year when we had the wildfires that were going out of control, we would have the authority without having to go declaring a state of emergency to cease all burning within the town during a period of time until the fire weather came back down to normal limits. And it has parameters for finding people, because we have cases where we're going out to people that are burning all the time, over and over, illegally burning trash, garbage, cardboard, everything that they're not supposed to burn. And this kind of gives us a little leverage on giving them a fine for burning illegal stuff. You know, we wouldn't do it on cases, but you know,
I
If-
still, on the, yeah, make a little.
if people started becoming a nuisance, then we have kind of a little leverage to enforce the policy and the ordinance.
Thank you for that.
Quick question, Jamie, who has the authority to issue the fine?
It's listed in there. The fire marshal has the authority. Let me go into. Oh, sorry, fines may be adjusted. Oh, so that's adjusted. Enforcement, any person who kindles proper authorization. It's kind of vague. It
Yeah,
basically,
exactly, it's very vague.
Maybe
'Cause I
we
read-
need to tighten up the language on that.
and who has the authority? It would,
Yeah, I mean, that's the same problem that we have with any of our ordinances
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to the finding and who has the authority, and that's probably something that needs, if we go in the direction of the ordinance, that it has to be perfectly clear. Whether or not the town itself can designate somebody to enforce those ordinances, et cetera, and issue the fine, and that's a legal matter,
well,
you know,
usually it's
for the courts, et cetera.
Usually it's the fire marshal and or the burning official.
Right.
Oh.
I thought it addressed that, Jamie. I guess I'm missing that.
Kind of does in section 12.
Right.
Failure to bring without.
That's for adjustment.
That's, yeah, for adjustment, sorry. 13. Not really.
Now 13 just talks about enforcement of.
Yeah,
open-
yeah, no,
So that 13 is actually, that's under a state regulation. The lawyer actually had the state regulation taken out for improperly kindling of a fire. So that one would come from the state police. Because that's an enforcement tool. That's why it says in Connecticut. So that would be something that the state would do. Ours is the $100 penalty one, which was addressed in the section where it talks about the penalty.
Right.
Well, I'll get right to the crutch of it right now. Not that I'm not for and I'm not against. What I think getting it sprung at the last second without having proper discussion on this and just a couple things that we've just raised to get clarifications is quite important. That this is something that is going to affect everybody in the town, even though most of it is in the DEP regulations, but it comes under the enforcement aspect. And even what Ms. Clark had talked about, there's going to be many, many questions. And it would have been nice if we could have been working on this right from the beginning when this whole drought situation had been going on to lead up to this.
Well,
We-
and I will say, I apologize. This was sent to our town attorney back in February for review. Then I reminded him because it had kind of left my mind. And Jamie had approached me about it. And in September, I reached out to the town attorney again, who's promised it to me in 2 weeks. I'm fine with not moving forward on this. I just know Jamie's had been working on this, and this was of importance based on what he saw during the 2023 season. And knowing that we were potentially going to have a town meeting, or we were going to have a town meeting on December 4th, I thought we could try to take action on it. But if you're not comfortable, or Suzanne's not comfortable, and we want to take more time and pass it along to the next administration, then I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that would be my recommendation at this point, to let the new administration coming in deal with it. They're gonna have to be dealing with the fire tax district as it is, and this comes after they take office.
Right.
And I'm sure that meeting in itself can be quite lengthy in itself with a lot of questions there.
I think it can't be delayed though, because you have to start telling the taxpayers to not call us every time the neighbor is burning, because we have no enforcement and we're being called time and time and time again for their neighbors burning illegally and burning. We have no enforcement power, and we're going out there day after day after day, and we have no authority to. It's just becomes a nuisance on us.
Well, and it's frustrating to the public. It's very much like the blight ordinance and the 1097 Thompson Road. Oh, well, why can't you do anything about it? Well, we don't have an ordinance that gives us the right to do anything about it. So I know that this was just sent to the board, and that, Jamie, that's the only reason why I'm conceding to say, hey, we can just take it off the docket for now, so that it can be, it's
And this-
thoughtful and it makes sense to me, but I don't want to push anything onto this board.
Can I ask, this ordinance can be changed at town meeting, correct?
Yeah, of course. It can be changed now if we wanted to adjust something that's missing from it.
Well, I'm just wondering if this were to go to town meeting and and Jamie came in with some changes that would answer some of the questions we had today, then it could be changed at town meeting and still be approved.
Yeah, I mean, but the only changes that we're really talking about is who has the right to issue. the
Exactly, exactly.
So,
I'm fine with moving it to town meeting and letting the public decide what they want to do.
but do
Uh,
we, but do
and-
we want to specify who has
Wh-
the authority to issue the fines?
I would
mean-
rather see it specified before it goes forward, yes.
Right.
So before sending it, but if that's something that could be added or adapted or amended today, then I don't see why we would hold back.
Right.
giving Jamie the tools he needs.
Making the adjustment to
Specify,
section 12 to specify that the $100 per offense, that the penalty would be applied by the fire marshal or the deputy fire marshal. Would you say that, Jamie, if we were to adjust it?
I would say the fire marshal's office
Fire
Yeah.
marshal's office?
and or the burning official, because there could be a point where somebody's not a fire marshal, that could be a burn official.
okay,
You currently as
But-
fire marshal, Jamie, you issue fines. We have the fines. Oh, there's fee schedule. Are there fines too that you sometimes?
But the Connecticut Fire Safety Code actually allows us to issue fines as well,
Yeah,
if we sought to. And that's
Jamie,
a-
do they issue you an infractions book for it?
No. Some towns do have infraction books for that. When they get into further fines. But we've never gotten into that level of issuing fines. I know other towns do issue fines. They just have to find where it talks about fines. I know John issues fines through statute as well.
right. Building official, John,
Yes,
just to clarify for the public meeting.
sorry about that.
That's okay. Well, I understand from Jamie's point of view, the inability. Especially when, we're not talking about when people are just burning brush in their yard.
no,
We're talking about people that burn trash or construction material or things like that. That's where it's an issue, right, Jamie?
Yes. Yeah, it's not, and realistically, that case, usually when we go to somebody burning a complaint, usually we talk to them and they don't know they need permits, they don't know, so, we don't give them a hard time. It's the people that, decide that they're gonna burn construction material. We go once, we tell them, and then we're back there a week later, or we're back there again. And usually in the past, what we've done, because we've had people arrested for doing just that. And once it gets to that point, usually we contact the state police anyway, because now it's more of a illegal burning,
Mhm.
kindling a fire. So that's more of that section where we talked about the 250 fine, and that's more of a state statute for legal aspect.
And in section 13, that enforcement, like you said, is handled by the state police.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct. And I had the actual statute listed on there, but the lawyer took it out. He didn't feel it was needed.
he didn't think it was needed?
I guess so, because he
Yeah.
redlined it.
Yeah. Okay, well. Either way, I'm going to rescind my former motion.
okay, and I'll take back my second.
And I will revise my motion to move forward with the legal notice for special town meeting, December 4th, 2025, in order to conduct the business of adopting proposed ordinance to establish the Thompson Fire Protection Association District and to adopt the proposed open burn ordinance with the changes, the modifications to section 12 to denote that the fire marshal's office and or local burning official would be the ones issuing the penalties for failing to adhere to conditions of the permit or open burning.
Okay, and I'll second that.
Further discussion? All right. We have a motion and a second. All in favor of approving the motion as presented, say aye.
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 And I'm gonna say no.
Okay. All right. And that is the business for today. Make a motion that we adjourn at 9:20.
Second,
Okay,
Second.
all in favor of adjournment at 9:20, say aye.
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 Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great,
Amy,
Yeah.
you're gonna need a second signature on this?
yes, please. So we need Suzanne's signature.
Is she gonna be able to get in there?
Suzanne, can can I scan it to you for a signature?
Yeah, you can DocuSign it if you want.
Okay,
Just send it to me. I'll DocuSign it and send it back.
okay, sounds good.
All right.
Very good.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, hold on.